It's 2 a.m. and your sock lights up. One workstation is calling out to a domain that didn't exist yesterday every 60 seconds like clockwork. That's a heartbeat. That's malware phoning home. Welcome to Objective 4.1 Malware Incident Detection and Analysis. This is where you learn to read the signals, file hashes, C2 callbacks, injected memory, weird parent-child processes, and turn a single alert into a fully scoped infection. The exam wants you to name the IOC category, pick the right tool, and know the exact Windows event IDs. Let's move. Start with your IOC categories because the exam loves to make you sort them. File-based indicators are the static fingerprints. Cryptographic hashes like MD5, SHA1, and SHA256 disguise file names like svchost32.exe, suspicious paths in temp or app data, and missing or stolen digital signatures you catch with SIGCheck. Network indicators are the loud ones, a known C2 IP, a malicious C2 domain, beaconing at regular intervals, and DGA domains that flood your DNS logs. Behavioral indicators are the actions, process injection, registry run key persistence, and login abuse where attackers weaponize certootle, regis VR32, and benchtaish. Memorize which category each one lives in. Now the event log IDs. This is pure exam currency. Event 4688 is new process created, the single most important ID for catching malware execution. Event 7045 is a new service installed. Malware loves running as a service. Event 4698 is a scheduled task created, the classic persistence move. Event 4672 flags special privileges assigned, your privilege escalation tell. Event 4663 is object access, the signature of LSASS credential dumping, and 1102 means the audit log was cleared, somebody's covering tracks. Lock these numbers in. The exam will hand you a behavior and demand the matching ID. Native logging is good. Sysmon is better. Sysmon from sysinternals gives you richer telemetry than Windows ever will, and a mature SOC runs it everywhere. Know these Sysmon IDs cold. Event 1 is process create, full command line, hash, and parent in one shot. Event 3 is a network connection at the process level. Event 7 is image loaded, your DLL injection tell. Event 8 is create remote thread, classic cross-process injection. Event 10 is process access, and that is the indicator for LSASS access, which means a tool like Mimikatz is dumping credentials. Event 11 is file create. Event 13 is registry value set. Event 22 is DNS logging. Sysmon 10 equals credential dumping. Burn it in. Single alerts lie. Correlation tells the truth, and that's your SIEM's job. Lateral movement is the pattern to hunt. Pass the hash shows as a successful logon, type 3, over the network with no matching Kerberos ticket. SMB lateral movement looks like multiple type 3 logons hitting many hosts from one source. PSXX leaves a PSEX ESVC service, event 7045, on the target. RDP hopping forms a logon chain, host A to B to C to D, using type 10 logons. WMI lateral movement appears as a 4688 process whose parent is WMI parv-US chain 4688 plus 4672 within 60 seconds, and you've caught privilege escalation in the act. Smart malware never touches disk. It lives in memory, and that's where Volatility hunts it. Volatility is the leading open source memory forensics framework, and you must know its plugins by name. Run malfind to find executable memory not backed by any file on disk that catches injection, shellcode, and fileless malware. Run pscan to find hidden processes that rootkits unlinked from the eProcess list. Diffit against PSLIs to spot the discrepancy. Run netscan to surface C2 connections invisible to livnetstat. Then pestry for parent-child anomalies, CMD line for the arguments, DL list for injected DLLs, and handles to grab mutex names. The workflow: image info first, then pest list, pscan, malfind, netscan. Back to the wire, because network IOs scope the whole infection. Beaconing is regular, periodic check-ins to C2, predictable intervals like 60, 300, or 3600 seconds, small payloads, and jitter added by advanced malware to dodge time series detection. You catch it with NetFlow and proxy log analysis. DGA, domain generation algorithm, spins up pseudo-random domains seeded by date, and the malware burns through them until one resolves. Your tells: a high NX domain rate, high entropy gibberish names, short TTLs, and burst queries from one host. For exfil, watch for large outbound HTTP posts over 100 megabytes, DNS tunneling with oversized queries, and encrypted transfers to first seen destinations. Now you've got indicators. Enrich them with threat intelligence and then detonate the sample. Virus total checks a hash, URL, IP, or domain against 70 plus engines. But remember, 0 out of 70 is not proof of clean. MISP is your internal IOC repository for cross-referencing feeds. Passive DNS tracks the attacker's domain rotation. Shodan profiles infrastructure, and ThreatVox from abuse.ch is free and fresh. Then sandbox the file, any.run, hybrid analysis, or self-hosted cuckoo, run it in isolation and report file system changes, registry writes, network callbacks, spawned processes, and a full PCAP. That PCAP plus the dropped IOs feeds straight back into your SIEM and your block lists. Tie it together with the high-value behavioral red flags because the exam leans on these hard. A parent-child anomaly is gold. Word spawning PowerShell or IIS, spawning cmd.exe is a screaming alert. Registry persistence means rights to run and run one's keys, event 4657. Scheduled task creation is 4698. New service is 7045. Credential dumping is LSASS memory access. Sysmon event 10, native event 4663. Remember the tool pairings too. Malfind finds anonymous injection. Dull-list finds the DLLs loaded into a process. One catches shellcode with no file behind it. The other catches a malicious library riding inside a legit process. In one breath, file, network, and behavioral IOs, 4688 for process, 7045 for service, 4698 for task. Sysmon 10 equals LSIS dumping, volatility malfind for injection, payscan for hidden procs, netscan for hidden C2. Beaconing is regular small payloads with jitter. DGA is high NX domain and high entropy. Virus total, passive DNS, and a sandbox PCAP close the loop. You can now detect and characterize a malware infection. Next up, Objective 4.2, Containment and Recovery, where you isolate, eradicate every persistence mechanism, and survive a ransomware outbreak.